We are back for another episode of Table Talk. Moyo has made her long-awaited return, and we have Raiyan with us, who is a photographer, mainly taking pictures of the Arsenal women's team because she's an Arsenal fan. Honestly, we just keep getting these Arsenal fans in. Moyo, we need to switch it up.
Yeah, we need to change it up, man.
So, this week's question is, one player that needs a loan in the WSL, and where are you sending them to go on loan? Raiyan, I'm going to come to you first.
Me?
Yeah.
It's quite easy. I'm going to go with Manu Abuchi. I said anywhere, West Ham, Man City, because I think right now she's not playing enough and she's the kind of player you want to see. And with the World Cup coming up, I don't think she has enough minutes. And when Japan played England, you saw that they don't have the players. Yeah. And Manu's missing that. You played her as striker. Anywhere, she's just so good on the ball.
Yeah.
It's fun to watch her. And I think she needs to move alone. Whatever it is, she needs to move from Arsenal, if I'm being honest.
Okay. Moyo, who you got?
I was actually going to say Mana, but I changed my mind and I said Beth England. I said Beth England. And
West Ham or Spurs?
Yeah, do you know what it is? I feel
you want to take Mana to West Ham as well? Wow, you lot see
so
West Ham.
They're doing pretty well in the table. That's the thing.
That's
I
an
wanted
interesting one.
I wanted to take Mana to United at first.
See.
But we don't know how to use our talent. We don't know how to rotate really.
okay.
So if she comes to us, she'll be on the bench as well. So there's just no need.
Yeah.
And Beth, I wouldn't have put her initially, but I think we'll see what if our United strikers decide to leave at the end of the season, then let me not talk too much. I'm not trying to put it into the air because I don't want them to leave, but if Russo does go, then I feel like this is who we should go for. God forbid though, times 10,000. And I said West Ham or Spurs because...
Can we just go back to God forbid?
God forbid times 10,000, literally. You know sometimes when you say it too much and it's in the air, it's just like, okay, cool. But I said West Ham or Spurs because I feel like to leave and go to another city, sometimes it changes things up a bit for you. I feel like it's easier to settle if you stay where you live.
Okay, got you. Okay.
And West Ham are doing well. Spurs need a goal scorer.
Yeah.
But sometimes, I don't know, I think she'll get more chances in the West Ham team than the Spurs team. I think Spurs probably...
Chances as in the ball given to her, as in directly. Okay, cool. Not chances in to get off.
Yeah.
As in, so she'd be in the starting lineup.
She'll be in the starting lineup and they will provide the ball for her more at West Ham. I feel like Spurs' attacking identity isn't great in general. I feel like it's not just that they don't have a goal scorer problem. It's their attacking patterns aren't great, which is why I think she'd do well.
Hence their recent form as well.
Yeah. But I think either of these clubs she'd do amazing for, but the drop-off is a bit nuts from Chelsea.
Okay, cool. So I've gone with, I'm literally leader of this boat or whatever you want to call it, but...
You are.
I'm the leader of this boat. The Beth England hype is real. Honestly, I can talk about this forever and a day. She needs to be in a starting lineup because she is a proper... She's just a player, she's so good. For me, she's a game changer. And I really like her style. I like the passion that she plays with. I think the passion and the desire that she brings and the want to do well, no matter how long she's on for, I think she just deserves it. And when she is on, she shows her ability.
Yeah.
I'm on this Villa boat, innit? But I do understand the risk of potentially would she link up well with a Rachel Daly? Would it put the team, not the team in jeopardy, but as in, would they match? Would they be able to work together? Rachel Daly, Rachel Daly the other day against Arsenal was literally everywhere on that pitch.
Yeah.
At one stage, I was like, she's gone to right back. She's now in the middle. Now she's gone back. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
So, but I think it would be great for Villa, and I know that Beth in that team would make a difference. I think Beth, honestly, for me, could potentially slot into most teams and make a real difference and be one of those really key players. Again, it goes back to when she's on the pitch, she's just one of those players. She doesn't give up. Yeah. But do you know what? And I saw that you'd said it, and I'd said it, and I was like, oh yeah, we're on the same page. Beth deserves it. I think we kind of all know that. I think another person that needs a little shout out, and I didn't write and I should have, is Grace Clinton.
I knew you were going to say that, and I didn't want to say it because it's actually annoying me.
Yeah, but the other week when she didn't get put in the squad for the Conti Cup, how are you not putting a player in the squad for the Conti Cup? That is where the young guns literally get their moment. And saying that,
game as well.
The Conti Cup, they've just gone 2 United young guns, literally just got given their debut and given time in the Conti Cup.
I think she was injured. To be fair, for this one, the game that just passed...
But I'm saying, if you compare it to, 2 just got theirs this week, and then last week it was that
They didn't play any. Like we did play, and
that's my point.
it's been
So
a
I
write-off
think
for United
I'd like to see Grace go somewhere. Like I could see Grace at a Brighton, you know.
Same. My only issue with Grace going on loan
is that you don't want to lose her.
I don't even think we lose her because obviously we signed her to a 3-year contract and we just signed her. My only issue with it is that if we didn't have a ready-made plan for her to start, we should have let her stay at Everton. Do you know what I mean? Like, we took her from a team that is already, like, we're saying she should go on loan to...
not taken her at all?
As in, if you know you're going to use her the year after next, just go and buy her the year after next.
I think it came down to, not missing out on her. But even then, I think the loan would have been good,
are you holding a player back by just... Like, don't get wrong, the training's probably top class. Yeah. Like, you can always revert back to training, but even... You know the best way to play and develop as a player is to be on that pitch.
On the pitch,
you can do all the training you want, but ultimately the way you really, really, really learn, like how other players play, what you're coming up against, what you need to do, the mental strategy of like, okay, it's the here and now. How am I gonna diverge and break down this team or this player that I'm going up against? The best way to do that is in a match.
I think it goes back to what I was saying as well. Like, United don't really know how to rotate in general. Like, I sometimes see United fans on Twitter saying stuff like, when people say, oh, I wish this person would play, and someone will say something like, oh, but who comes out? Elatoon. But it's just like, it's not who... I feel like people see, especially in the women's game, they see rotation as like a punishment.
Yeah. Rest is really important in the women's game, especially with the schedules.
It's not a punishment for you. So like, for example, Elatoon plays every game. Obviously, we're happy that Elatoon's always playing because she's our top creator. But like, for example, if she doesn't play against Leicester, does that mean that she's being punished? No. It just means that, really and truly, if you can't rotate against the teams at the bottom, then there's no hope. There's no... If you don't rotate against Leicester...
It's about trusting your players as well, isn't it? Like someone like Mana, I feel like Mana, in my personal opinion, I feel like there's... Also, sorry from the distraction, but how nice is that writing?
It is. Thanks. I was trying to do my I looked at how you were writing.
But yeah, sorry. But Mana is one of those players that I feel like she's not trusted at the moment. And I feel like if you're not rotating players, you're affecting their confidence ultimately.
1,000%.
And with the World Cup, I think that's one of the things
that's
every
such a
player
key
right
thing,
now,
isn't it?
you
Like
have to
all these,
look.
obviously we've only named 2 players here, but these 2 players here are pushing for World Cup. They want to be at the World Cup, and
I think Mana more or less has a guaranteed spot. She is kind of like the star of the Japan.
The competition
but still,
for England.
She still needs the minutes and the
competition
confidence.
for England means that, like, and the way Serena's policy is, like, if you're not playing, you're not going to come. Obviously, it makes it a more difficult decision for Beth as to whether she thinks that she needs to push for a move.
I don't think it's a bad thing to go out on loan though.
On loan, I think that's better offer.
I don't think it's bad to go on loan, but I feel like if you've already gone on loan, number one, and you're older, she's not old, but you've already gone on loan and you're older, so that at that point, most players already feel like they should have a cemented spot within a team. And I feel like it's not a bad thing, but the player themselves may feel like if it's not going to work out here, because if anything, sometimes when you go out on loan, the team you leave gets someone else to like fill in the spot that you've just been in, and then you come back to an even more congested
I don't
team.
feel like Chelsea,
I don't think Chelsea would recruit anyone.
If I'm like,
my only issue with that's
what I mean. That's why I think Beth needs to go out, because there's like.
But what changes for her when she comes back? That's my only question as well.
Oh, you mean like for a temporary? I think for me the loan seems like a more viable option, because at the moment, no team is like out there looking for something unless they're trying to cover up an injury, right?
Yeah.
And that's why you kind of want to make exactly. We're gonna end up panic buying at this point. And then as a Beth England, you want to be in like a permanent spot. You want to go to a club where you know 100% that
like for me, I want to see her in a starting lineup.
Yeah, 100%. Same.
I want to see her being utilised because she's a great player. But I think loan is, as you go back, it's a really interesting point. Like it's short term. But out of the 2, obviously we've only got 2 players. We threw Grace in, but out of the 2, Mana and Beth, who do you think deserves a loan more or needs a loan more?
Needs, I think Beth. Because Beth is fighting for her place in the World Cup.
Yeah.
Mana has that, and now we might see her play because of Viv being injured.
Yeah.
But Beth, she's literally fighting for a spot in the World Cup. So yeah, Beth.
Beth?
I'd agree.
So we had 2 players. We had Mana and we had Beth. And we've decided that out of the 2 players that we put forward, with notable mentions to a few other players, Beth England needs to go out on loan so she can shine like the baller she is. This has been Table Talk. Make sure you tune in to the next episode.